Hello, everybody. Making a couple adjustments here. I hope you're all having a good evening so far. It looks like a few of you have already joined me and logged in. We may have some folks joining us live at the Owl Acoustic Lounge tonight, which I'm super excited about. It's been a very long time since we've been able to be together, kind of, sort of, at the Owl Acoustic Lounge for the Wise Owls pub quiz. The Owl has been our partner throughout all of this because they started out as our partner in the Wise Owls pub quiz back in the fall of 2012. So 9 years of doing this program. It's been a while. I hope you're all still enjoying it. It is a lovely evening, it looks like, outside in Lethbridge here. So I hope if you're able to, you're enjoying some evening air, sitting, where somewhere where you've got Wi-Fi to take part with the video and the Google form that you will need for your answers. I'm going to give it a few because we're just a couple minutes past the hour. So we'll just kind of do some patter here until people have all joined us. If anybody at the Owl wants to give me a little commenty thing down in the box to let me know that things are working, that would be great. Because as you can see, I am not at the Owl. I am hanging out still in my home library doing some videos here for all of you. It's been a while, 1 month since the last trivia video. I'm not doing the weekly Instagram ones usually anymore, but the exciting news is next week for Indigenous Peoples Week celebrating here in Lethbridge, I am doing a bonus trivia event on Instagram at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. next Thursday on Instagram as opposed to here on YouTube. It's just a quick and fun evening of questions and trivia and, general silliness as it is. But it is themed in keeping with Indigenous Peoples Day, which is the 21st, and some of the other celebrations and programming that's happening, that has been happening all month and is continuing to happen for the rest of the month. So if you want to take part in that, go over to Instagram and search for LethLib. So we're LethLib on pretty much all of the social media platforms, and that's how you can find out what is happening with all of the Lethbridge Public Library online programming. All right. So in the chat there should be a link to the Google form that you will need if you're taking part in tonight's trivia. Only one person on your team has to put the answers in that form. You don't all have to fill it out. That would just be very confusing for me when it comes for doing the scoring and the math between rounds and at the very end of the day. So let's go over some basic rules for the Wise Owls pub quiz. Just, reminders before we really get going. You can have four people on your team. I believe the Owls' current table limit is 4. I could be wrong. But 4 people to a team, just in keeping with how we've had it for the last couple months, and just to keep things easy and simple when it comes to any required social distancing. If you're playing from home, or really from anywhere, if you are playing distant from those other, 3 or so people on your team, you can communicate with those people on your team any way you want. If you're playing across the street with your neighbors, you can just shout, as long as nobody else in your block is playing, because then you're just giving away answers. You can phone each other, have a big, group call going on the phone. You can text, you can Zoom, you can Skype, whatever. However you want to communicate with your friends is totally fine. The one thing I'm going to say is don't look up the answers, because that makes you a little stinker. And you don't want to be a little stinker. That makes the trivia people sad when you cheat and look up the answers. It's just not cool. So don't do it. 4 people to a team, don't look up the answers. Do put your answers in the form. I'm not sure if, for me, it's over on the side of my screen. It might be down below. For you folks, it might be above, it might be that way. I don't know. But wherever there is a link in the comments that should take you to a Google form where you can put your answers for the round. There will be 3 rounds tonight, making up tonight's trivia. There will be a variety of themes within those rounds. And if you don't know the answer, you're learning something new. And that's what makes this a lifelong learning program here at Lethbridge Public Library. All right, so our numbers have been pretty steady for a little while. I think that means it's time for us to actually kick off this evening. So first off, on behalf of the Lethbridge Public Library, welcome to Wise Owl's Pub Quiz with our partners, the Owl Acoustic Lounge. Lethbridge Public Library acknowledges that we're gathered here on the lands of the Blackfoot people of the Canadian Plains. We pay respect to Blackfoot people past, present, and future, and we recognize and respect their cultural heritage, beliefs, and relationship to the land. The city of Lethbridge, I think some of you know this, maybe not all of you. The city of Lethbridge is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. So that's another thing that we keep in mind. Important things to learn, especially in this month of June, but really all the time. Welcome again to Wise Owl's Pub Quiz. Let's get going with some questions. If I'm going too fast at any point, because as you can see, I'm just hanging out at home in my library, talking to myself, well, to you guys, but to myself. If I get going too fast, let me know in the comments. I'll slow things down. If you need anything repeated at the end of a category, just tell me which questions you would like to hear again. I'm happy to repeat stuff. And let's get going with the first category. It is June 17th. We're in the month of June, so this is the June category. All right. June 18th, tomorrow, very important, is National Picnic Day. I'm sure you all have plans. One of the most famous depictions of a picnic is a French painting, Le Déjeuner sur l'herbe. Who is the painter? And, you know, for those of you who are more visual people, I'm going to show you the painting. There's a little bit of, you know, nakedness because classical paintings. Though, you know, National Picnic Day, I'm sure this is all exactly what all the national picnicking folks in the US have in mind. So again, this is Le Déjeuner sur l'herbe. Who is the painter of this famous picnic painting? It looks much better in real life. This is obviously just a sad printout on a wobbly, shiny piece of paper. But, you know, maybe some ideas for all of you. And tomorrow's National Picnic Day. I think the weather will be good for a picnic. So get ready to celebrate. At least eat your lunch outside if that's possible. Call it a picnic, even if it, you know, isn't in a nice little basket or anything. But again, who is the painter of the famous picnic painting, Le Déjeuner sur l'herbe? That was what I just showed you. All right, question number 2. Time for question number 2. On this date in 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrived in New York City. Big times. Which famous French engineer helped design the framework for the massive statue? The Statue of Liberty arrived in New York on this date in 1885. Who was the French engineer who helped design the framework for the massive lady statue? And I'm glad that the visual helped, Emma. Yeah, when I looked it up, I think I had it confused with the one where they're all on the dockside. And I can't remember what it's called. But yes, for question number 1, this is the question number 2 about the Statue of Liberty, which hopefully you all know what that one looks like. It's a little more commonly known, I would guess. All right, on to June question number 3. Actor KJ Apa, who came to fame playing Archie on the hit show Riverdale, is celebrating his 24th birthday today. In which country was he born? From which country is actor KJ Apa from? I think I said from twice there. KJ Apa is celebrating his 24th birthday today. He stars in Riverdale as Archie. What country is he from? Where was he born? for those of you who, aren't enjoying a nice bar beverage at the Owl Acoustic Lounge, highly recommend lemonade. It's one of those things I forget about every year, and then summer rolls around. It's like, oh my God, this stuff is great. Who knew? All right, question number 4 for the June category. Question number 4, it's another birthday one. 2 Doctor Who actors, both born in 1982 on this date, are celebrating their birthdays. 2 Doctor Who actors with the same birthday. It's great. One is Jodie Whittaker, the current Doctor, and the other is Arthur Darvill, who played which character opposite Karen Gillan on the show? Arthur Darvill, celebrating his birthday. He was an actor on the hit show Doctor Who. He played opposite Karen Gillan. What was the name of his character? And a very happy birthday to both Jodie Whittaker, Arthur Darvill, and KJ Appa, since they're all of our birthday question people this year, for this month. I'm sure they're, super tuned into the Lethbridge Public Library social media feeds and appreciate the well wishes. You can just feel that. So again, one of the Doctor Who actors celebrating his birthday today is Arthur Darvill. What was the name of his character when he was in Doctor Who and played opposite Karen Gillan? On to number 5 for the June category. Yesterday was International Waterfall Day. Very peaceful day. What is the world's tallest uninterrupted waterfall? Not counting the one that's underwater, because that didn't make any sense to me, so it doesn't count. So yesterday was International Waterfall Day. What is recognized as the world's tallest interrupted waterfall? What is the name of that waterfall? And if you want a bonus point, the name of the waterfall and the country in which it is found. How about that? Bonus waterfall question. So the world's tallest uninterrupted waterfall, its name, and the country in which it is found. That's number 5. And at this point, if you would like any questions repeated, let me know in the box, wherever the box is for you. For me, like I said, it's on this side. Because that was the end of the June questions. Very serious June stuff. Number 2. All right. Number 2 was about the Statue of Liberty, which on this date in 1885 was delivered to New York. So number 2, which famous French engineer helped design the framework for the Statue of Liberty? Repeat of all. Okay, I can do quickly. All. I already did 2. So this is a famous painting of a picnic, because tomorrow is National Picnic Day. Who is the painter of this famous picnic painting? Its title is Le Déjeuner sur l'herbe. Le Déjeuner sur l'herbe. Who painted it? That was number 1. Number 2 was one about the Statue of Liberty and its engineer. Number 3, actor KJ Appa, who came to fame playing Archie on Riverdale, is celebrating his birthday today. He's 24. In which country was KJ Appa born? Number 4, 2 Doctor Who actors are celebrating their birthday today. They were both born in 1982. One is Jodie Whittaker, who's the current Doctor. The other is Arthur Darvill, who played which character on Doctor Who opposite actress Karen Gillan. And number 5, yesterday was International Waterfall Day. What is the world's tallest uninterrupted waterfall? And for that one, bonus point if you give me both its name, the actual question, and the country in which said waterfall is found. All right, so that was a quick spin through the entire category. Yeah, sure. The entire June category. And so at that point, let us go on to the next one, which I'm going to do this as a public service announcement and reminder to you all. Father's Day is this Sunday. If you haven't gotten your dad something, Pop by one of the cool stores downtown in Lethbridge. There's a candy store. Dads like candy. There's, several places to buy your dad a nice bottle of scotch, some beer, some dad things. Nice glasses at Scylla to go with said beverages. Flowers. Dads don't get enough flowers. I find that's, something to maybe consider. There's some good florists downtown. You could get them a gift certificate from the Owl Acoustic Lounge. I hear they're pretty good. Lots of options. Support somewhere local. Get your dad something cool for Father's Day, which is Sunday. No excuses to forget now. Because Father's Day is Sunday, we're going to do famous dads and character dads. Dads from shows and movies. All right, so 5 dads coming at you. Dad question number 1. What is the name of Steve Martin's character in Father of the Bride? So Steve Martin played the dad in the movie, the classic movie, Father of the Bride. What was the name of his character in that film? The famous dad played by Steve Martin in Father of the Bride. Dad number 1, Steve Martin's character in Father of the Bride. Dad number 2, what is the name of Nemo's father in the film Finding Nemo? So fish have dads too. Stands to reason. What is the name of Clownfish Nemo's father in the film Finding Nemo? Who is the dad who's on the epic quest to find his lost kid? In the comments, if you're a parent, tell me the weirdest place that you've ever lost your kids. Was it the middle of the ocean? Who knows? If it was, I'm very curious about that story. Number 3, Dad. What is the name of the dad on the classic sitcom Family Matters? Flashback, if you're my age, to, teenagehood, TGIF, watching Family Matters. I think before Boy Meets World, after Boy Meets World. I can't, in a block of 4 with Boy Meets World. What is the name of the dad on the show Family Matters? Classic sitcom dad. Very annoyed, but very loving. What was his name? If your dad has done something interesting, share that in the comments. As long as you think he wouldn't mind you sharing it in the comments, I guess. You don't want to annoy your dad before Father's Day. That just doesn't seem right. All right, dad number 4. What is the name of Indiana Jones's absentee father? At least until, the 3rd film. And he's a grown-up, so, it's probably fine. What is the name of Indiana Jones's father? Not the actor, the character's name. For all of these, I'm looking for the character name, not the actor's name. So number 4, what is the name of Indiana Jones's father, the character? And through to number 5, Dad. Question now. Number 5, it's a 2-pointer. 2-point question for number 5. What are the names of Lily's fathers on the show Modern Family? So 2 pointers because it's 2 names. What are the names of Lily's 2 dads on the show Modern Family? What are their names? 1 point per dad name for that one. So if you can only remember 1, you'll get 1 point. But if you remember 2, 2 points. Any repeats for the dad category? Which of the dad questions do you need to hear again and do some more thinking on? Were there any famous movie or TV show dads that I, didn't mention? I only mentioned like 5, well, 6. Uh, you know, probably missed a few favorites. Share those in the comments if you like. And let me know if you need any repeats. So far, we might be good. Let's see. A few more seconds. A little bit longer. I think we're okay. Getting ready to turn the page. I think we're okay. All right, from dads, we go to films. From some films to more films. So as I mentioned earlier this evening, June is Indigenous Peoples Heritage or History Month, depending on where you are. The 21st is Indigenous Peoples Day. And on the 24th, I'm doing a special trivia event over on Instagram. Our account is @lethlib over there as well. So for this next round, I'm going to read you the IMDb film descriptions of some Indigenous films. And let's see if you can name the films for me. All right, film number 1. I was going to say get ready for dramatic readings, but they won't be that dramatic. They'll kind of just be like normal page readings. Okay, film number 1. Again, you're going to give me the title of the movie. In a small Arctic town struggling with the highest suicide rate in North America, a group of Inuit students' lives are transformed when they are introduced to the sport of lacrosse. Came out in 2018, so I think this is the newest. Yeah, this is the newest film I'm using in this category. In a small Arctic town struggling with the highest suicide rate in North America, a group of Inuit students' lives are transformed when they are introduced to the sport of lacrosse. What is the name of that film? And as you might expect, all of the films I'm going to describe for you are available at your Lethbridge Public Library. At least they better be, because I'm the boss of the film collections and I'm pretty sure I've bought all of them, but sometimes they go walkies. In any case, we have these movies, place them on hold, watch them, they're all great. All right, film number 2 came out in 2017, another fairly new one. Film number 2 follows the life of Saul as he survives residential school and life amongst the racism of the 1970s. A talented hockey player, Saul must find his own path as he battles stereotypes and alcoholism. It's based on the book by Richard Wagamese. So again, that one's from 2017. I need you to name the film. It's about Saul, a survivor of residential school and life amongst the racism of the 1970s. He's a talented hockey player. Saul must find his own path as he battles stereotypes and alcoholism. And it's based on the book by Richard Wagamese. Which film? What is its name? It's the same name as of the book. So if you know the book, you know the film. And both the book and the film at the library. I always check my messages while I'm doing this, just in case it's somebody from, who's playing at the Owl who's going, we missed that, help, the feed's down. But it wasn't. It was my mom. Anywho, film question number 3. Thomas is a nerd on his reservation, wearing oversized glasses and telling everyone stories nobody wants to hear. His parents died in a fire in 1976, and Thomas was saved by Arnold. Arnold soon left his family and his tough son, Victor. And Victor hasn't seen his father for 10 years. When Victor hears that Arnold has died, Thomas offers him funding for the trip to get Arnold's remains, but only if Thomas can also go with him. So Thomas and Victor hit the road. Classic road trip film. This one came out in 1998. It is the oldest film in the bracket of Indigenous films that I'm doing here. So again, 1998. What is the name of the film? Thomas is the main character. He's a nerd on his reservation. He wears oversized glasses and tells everyone stories that no one wants to hear. His parents died in a fire when he was younger, and Thomas was saved by Arnold. Arnold then left his family, including his son Victor. Victor hasn't seen his father for 10 years when the film begins. When Victor hears that Arnold has died, Thomas offers him funding for the trip to get Arnold's remains, but only if Thomas can also go with him. So Thomas and Victor hit the road. What is the name of that road trip film that came out in 1998? And I know that we do have this one at the Crossings branch because I saw it on the shelf a week or two ago. All right. Number 4 came out in 2012. So this film is from 2012. It's number 4. Teenager Larry Soule moved to the Northwest Territories 3 years ago following what Larry classifies as the accident. As Larry doesn't partake in what most of his peers in the town do, he's literally and figuratively an outsider, not having any friends. His one former friend now bullies him. As Larry tries to navigate high school, he also tries to reconcile his current life with his First Nations background. This one is based on a book by Richard Van Camp. And again, the book and the film name are the same. Came out in 2012, based on a book by Richard Van Camp. What is the name of this film? Teenager Larry Soule moved to the Northwest Territories 3 years ago, following what Larry classifies as the accident. As Larry doesn't partake in what most of his peers in the town do, he's literally and figuratively an outsider and doesn't have any friends. His one former friend now bullies him. As Larry tries to navigate high school, he also tries to reconcile his current life with his First Nations background. What's the name? And again, that one is based on the book by Richard Van Camp, and the film came out in 2012. Alrighty, and on to number 5. Number 5 came out as a film in 2001, did the festival circuit, I think won a whole bunch of awards. So 2001 film, number 5. The telling of an Inuit legend of an evil spirit causing strife in the community and one warrior's endurance and battle of its menace. So this one is the telling of an Inuit legend of an evil spirit causing strife in the community and one warrior's endurance and battle of its menace. 2001 film. I will accept either the Inuktitut title or the English translation title. Either one, totally fine. Alrighty. Would you like to hear any film descriptions again? I realize those were very long and I have a feeling I went a bit fast through some of them. So if you would like to hear any of them again, in case they jog something in your memory, let me know. I'm happy to go through them again. If you are done with this first round of 3, there should be a submit button or something of that ilk at the bottom of your form. You can hit that. It'll populate your answers to my lovely little spreadsheet. And if there aren't any film description redos, I'm going to go do some scoring, and then I'll be back. All right, last call for film repeats. Anybody need to hear anything again? I think we're okay. All quiet on the comment front. Okay, I'm going to go take my trusty pen, go over to the other side of the room, do some scoring. I'll be back in a few minutes, depending on, how tricksy the math is. And I will see you for round 2. When you click through on the submit, it should come up with a link. I will also post it in the comments when I get back, just in case anybody misses the link.
All right, I have some scores for you all. And here they are. Oh no, let's do answers first. I think I usually do answers first. I'll make you wait for scores. That's more fun for me. Okay. June answers now. Again, if you didn't know them before, you'll know them now, and thus you've learned something, hence a lifelong learning program. June question number 1. Le Déjeuner sur l'herbe was painted by Edouard Manet. Monet Manet. In 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrived in New York. The framework was designed by Gustave Eiffel, same guy who did the Eiffel Tower. Number 3, KJ Apa is from New Zealand. Number 4, the character played by Arthur Darvill on Doctor Who is Rory Williams. And number 5, the tallest uninterrupted waterfall is Angel Falls in Venezuela. A lot of you put, I think, Victoria Falls, which is, I think, like the widest waterfall. But the tallest waterfall is Angel Falls. Dads, fictional famous dad types. Father of the Bride's dad is George Banks. Nemo's dad is Marlin. The Family Matters dad is Carl Winslow. Indiana Jones's dad is Henry Jones Sr. It was mostly the Henry Jones that I was looking for. Number 5, Lily's fathers, again, 1 point for each. Mitch Pritchett and Cam Tucker. If you gave me just first names, that was fine. So Mitch and Cam are Lily's fathers on Modern Family. On to the Trixie one now. Again, you've all learned something because you didn't know it before. But, borrow the movies from the library. They're wonderful films. Number 1, about the Inuit students playing lacrosse. It's called The Grizzlies. The Grizzlies. And again, it won a bunch of awards and did the festival circuit. It was very highly acclaimed. Number 2, based on the book by Richard Wagamese, is Indian Horse.
Number 3, the old road trip one from 1998 is Smoke Signals. It has a like super 90s movie poster cover kind of thing. I love it. Number 4, the one based on a book by Richard Van Camp, is The Lesser Blessed. Great book as well. And number 5, the Inuit legend is Etanarjuat, or the Fast Runner. All right. So scores now. Let's put the questions away page. You'll need those. The scores at the third way. I don't think that's a word, but I don't know what else to call it. At a third of the way through, here we are for scores. With 6 points, we have Now Back Church of the Mask. 7 points to the Pretensioneers. 8 points to the Barley Mowits, and 10 points to Your Acquizzard Harry. All right. Time for the second part of the show. So hopefully you all clicked through. If not, sorry for the wobbliness. Hopefully I didn't make anybody seasick. Let me just grab you all the link for the second forum in case that is needed by anybody. So the first one's kind of green looking. The second one is orange. So there is the link for the second round form. Again, it should be an orange-ish kind of form with a very like orange-eyed owl. Orange-eyed? Yeah, orange-eyed owl. So that is for round number 2. Hopefully you are all there because it's time for the next set of questions. So summertime is pretty much here. I think we can all agree on that after the heat wave last week. And I know in the summertime, a lot of people like to, cozy up on the beach or in the backyard, or I was going to say under the covers, but no, it's too hot. Anyhow, lots of people like to curl up with a thriller or a mystery, something, exciting and gripping and spine tingling. There we go. So because it's library trivia, there is always a books round. This is the books round, and it's all thrillers. I'm going to give you the description of a thriller or a mystery, a spooky, exciting book. And you're going to give me the title of the book, okay? I give you a description, you give me the title. Easy peasy. Book number 1. Rachel takes the same commuter train every day, rattling over the same junctions, flashing past the same townhouses. The train stops at the same signal every day, and she sees the same couple breakfasting on their roof terrace. Jason and Jess, as she calls them, seem so happy. Then one day, Rachel sees someone new in their garden. Soon after, Rachel sees the woman she calls Jess on the news. Jess has disappeared. Through the ensuing police investigation, Rachel is drawn deeper into the lives of the couple. What is the name of that book? So that was book number 1. I forgot to write down the author, but I think it's Paula Hawkins, if I'm not getting my authors mixed up, which definitely does happen, even when you're a librarian. Maybe more when you're a librarian, who knows? You see so many other, book titles and authors coming at us all the time. All right, book number 2, again, you're going to give me the title of this thriller. A calculating young man believes it's better to be a fake somebody than a real nobody. Opportunity knocks in the form of a wealthy American shipbuilder who hires him to travel to Italy to bring back his playboy son, Dickie. The first man worms his way into the idyllic lives of Dickie and his girlfriend, plunging into a daring scheme of duplicity, lies, and murder. What is the name of that book? And my brain has gone blank on that author. Oh, come on, brain. You were looking at it this afternoon. See, this is why it's good that I have the answers, and that I'm not playing. Yeah. Yes. I like feeling smart, but it's because I have all of this. Yeah. So that was number 2. All right. Book number 3. In Oslo, after the first snow of the season has fallen, a woman disappears and a sinister sculpture is left in her wake. As irascible detective Harry Hole realizes that this is only one of multiple disappearances, he begins to think a serial killer may be at work and may be drawing in Hole personally and intentionally. That one might be especially good to read in the summer when it's really, really hot because, Oslo and snow. So again, number 3, in Oslo, after the first snow of the season has fallen, a woman disappears and a sinister sculpture is left in her wake. As irascible detective Harry Hole realizes that this is only one of multiple disappearances, he begins to think a serial killer might be at work and might be drawing in Hole personally and intentionally. Again, that was number 3, which brings us to number 4. Number 4. On the morning of his 5th wedding anniversary, Nick's wife, Amy, suddenly disappears. The police immediately suspect Nick. Amy's friends reveal that she was afraid of him, that she kept secrets from him. He swears it isn't true. A police examination of his computer shows strange searches. He says they aren't his. And then there are the persistent calls on his mobile phone. So what really did happen to Nick's beautiful wife? I'm curious whether you are all, mystery thriller type readers. I hope at least some of you are, because otherwise you'll be completely lost. But I feel like many, many people read these books. They're very popular, well-known titles. They've all been on the New York Times bestseller list for weeks and weeks, I'm sure. And they do make for good spooky summer reads. When it's light for so late, you can read for so much longer, You don't have to worry about getting scared because it's dark out. Can be reading a scary book because it's summertime. Well, Emma says she's been reading thrillers and mysteries this year, and it's been intense. Yes, some of these are super intense, which is why they're good, for like late summer evenings because, less scary nighttime. All right, on to our last book. Again, you're going to give me the title. This is number 5. 10 strangers, apparently with little in common, are lured to an island mansion off the coast of Devon by a mysterious man. Over dinner, a record begins to play, and the voice of an unseen host accuses each person of hiding a guilty secret. That evening, former reckless driver Tony Marston is found murdered by a deadly dose of cyanide. The tension escalates as the survivors realize the killer is not only among them, but is preparing to strike again and again and again. Very spooky. I feel like that one needed a dun 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 at the end. I mean, they all kind of deserve that, but that one especially. Actually, for all of these, I feel like if I was on stage at the Owl doing this category, there might be some spooky music going on behind me. I'm very much going to enjoy having the lovely Steve as my sound person again someday when I'm back. Even more so in the next round when I have to, do the musical round. Let me know if you want to hear any of these book descriptions again. Again, as the film, similar to the film ones, they were long. And so if you missed any of it, or you want to hear them one more time to just see if it'll shake something loose in the back of your brain, let me know. Give me a number 1 through 5 if you want to hear any of them again. Number 5. All right, here we go. Number 5 again. 10 strangers, apparently with little in common, are lured to an island mansion off the coast of Devon by a mysterious host. Over dinner, a record begins to play, and the voice of the unseen host accuses each person of hiding a guilty secret. That evening, former reckless driver Tony Marston is found murdered by a deadly dose of cyanide. The tension escalates as the survivors realize the killer is not only among them, but is preparing to strike again and again. So that was number 5. And it looks like that might be the only repeat. So from books, we will bounce forward into a cookery category. Cookery category, I like that. I've been doing a bit of gardening. I've been doing a lot of cooking. We've all been doing a lot of cooking, I imagine, over the last year and a half. And one of the things that makes cooking so much better and gardening kind of easy is herbs and spices. The herbs, especially for the gardening. That's what a lot of my garden is this year. So this is a round about herbs and spices. I don't know what else to say apart from that. Herb question, or herbs and spices question. Number 1. A plant belonging to the mint family. Romans used this as an herb and seasoning even before they used pepper. Its name is a synonym, not cinnamon, synonym for tasty. So it's a plant that belongs to the mint family. Romans used it as an herb and seasoning even before they used peppercorns. And its name is a synonym for tasty. What is the name of that herb? It's a very easy one to grow. Though like mint, it will kind of take over the world if you let it. So maybe grow it in a pot, not the garden. All right, number 2 for herbs and spices. This spice is the ground outer covering of the nutmeg seed. So you have the nutmeg, you have a covering around the nutmeg. It's dried and ground up. What is the name for that dried and ground up outer covering of the nutmeg seed? What is the name for that spice? Alrighty. It's not one that I've used a lot of, so I don't have a lot of patter around number 2 and the spice for number 2. Number 3. Question number 3 for this round. A key herb in Mediterranean cooking, and it was called the king of the herbs by the Greeks. It's the key ingredient in pesto. So this one is the key herb. Number 3 is the key herb in Mediterranean cooking, and it was called the king of the herbs by the Greeks. It's the key ingredient in pesto. Some years it grows really nicely in my garden. Other years, it's just fussy. It's probably because of the weather or something like that. Who knows? Number 4. Question number 4 for this round. This spice is the world's most expensive spice. It comes from a flowering plant in the crocus family. It's costly because more than 225,000 pieces must be handpicked to produce 1 pound of the spice. And it's very, very finicky work. So number 4 is a spice that comes from a flowering plant in the crocus family. It's the world's most expensive spice. And the reason it costs so much is because it's very, very finicky to produce and pick, because you have to pick 225,000 pieces of it hand-picked to produce just 1 pound of the spice. But it is a really fun one to use. So that was number 4. All right, number 5 for herbs and spices. Number 5 is long, a symbol of remembrance. The name of this herb comes from a Latin word for sea dew. Not like sea dew that you ride on the ocean, Seadew. So it's a symbol of remembrance, and the name of the herb comes from a Latin word for the dew of the sea, or sea dew. Let me know if you need to hear any of these again. Oh, and a repeat for number 5 of novels. I can do that for you guys. So bouncing back 1 category to the books. Number 5 again. 10 strangers, apparently with little in common, are lured to an island mansion off the coast of Devon by the mysterious owner. Over dinner, a record begins to play, and the voice of an unseen host accuses each person of hiding a guilty secret. That evening, former reckless driver Tony Marston is found murdered by a deadly dose of cyanide. The tension escalates as the survivors realize the killer is not only among them, but is preparing to strike again and again and again. So that was 5 for the books. So we bounce back. Now we bounce forward to herbs and spices. Does anybody need herbs and spices questions repeated? Or you can just let me know in the comments how, your garden is doing this year. It's been a bit of a tough start with the heat and no water, but some of the plants like it. The peonies are like in riot right now. They're just gorgeous. Okay, not that those are herbs and spices. They're just garden things. Are we good for garden or for herbs and spices repeats? Anybody need to hear any of those again? It's looking okay from the text and comments stream. I think we're okay. I'm going to slowly start turning the page. Okay, I think we're safe. All right, last bit of the second round is a category for Pride Week, because it's Pride Week. And so some questions, they're kind of history and general knowledge questions, I would say this month or this year. Number 1 question for Pride Week. What is the name of the American artist and activist who created the rainbow pride flag in 1978? What is his name? There's a really great picture book all about him that you can find on the shelves of the Lethbridge Public Library. Like all great books. Yes. So number 1, what is the name of the American artist and activist who created the rainbow pride flag in 1978? What's his name? So that was number 1. On to number 2 for Pride Week questions. Number 2, the word lesbian is derived from the home of which Greek poet? I merged witch and Greek there. The word lesbian is derived from the home of which Greek poet? So name the poet. Because what is a trivia night if I'm not making you name at least one poet? Though I don't think there's any royalty this round. No, there might not be any royalty questions this month. So I guess celebrate that for those of you who are tired of royal history questions. Number 2 again, the word lesbian is derived from the home of which Greek poet? Pride Week question number 3. In 2015, in recognition of the International Day of Transgender Visibility, not divisibility, that was me stuttering, which province was the first Canadian province to fly the trans flag at the legislature, outside the legislature? In 2015, in recognition of the International Day of Transgender Visibility, which province was the first to fly the trans flag outside their legislature? 1 in 10 chance of getting this right. Name the province. All right, Pride Week question number 4. Which country, known for its festivals, holds the record for the largest Pride parade? So I need the name of the country, that's all. Which country, known for its festivals, holds the record for the largest Pride parade? I might be verified by Guinness, but I'm not totally sure on that. But it's pretty much universally or globally recognized as the largest Pride parade. In which country is it? All right. Now on to Pride Week question number 5. In 2017, which 2 colors did Philadelphia add to its Pride flag as part of a More Color, More Pride campaign, which sought to help increase visibility for queer and trans people of color? So in 2017, Philadelphia added 2 more colors to its Pride flag, the one that it was officially flying, as part of a More Color, More Pride campaign. This campaign sought to help increase visibility for queer and trans people of color. Again, what were the 2 colors added to Philadelphia's Pride flag? And if you'd like any of the Pride Week questions repeated, let me know. The library is doing some fun Pride Week programming. Tomorrow, I have to now try to remember what it is. Tomorrow, I should know this one at least because this is the teen program that's happening. Friday afternoon, 3 p.m., we're doing another Queer Book Hurrah, where I get to hang out with a bunch of Canadian writers of teen novels. And we're going to just be really excited about all the cool queer books that have come out recently for teens. And any of the teens in attendance, so they can join. It's a Zoom thing, so they don't have to worry about actually, being in a room with anybody. 3 o'clock tomorrow, any teen that attends gets free books to keep. I've got a bunch of cool ones from the authors in attendance and various other cool queer YA books. They're all wonderful. They're all super exciting. And I've got a lot to give away. So if you have any queer teens in your life, send them library words virtually, because again, it's a Zoom thing. But that's tomorrow afternoon at 3. I think there are still a couple drag story times happening, again, virtually this week. For that, check out the LPL Kids account on Facebook. That's where we do all our kids programming. Or just check out lethlib.ca. All the info should be on there. But yes, those are always super fun for story times. All right, looks like we're okay for repeats. Nobody's asked for any more repeats on the Pride Week questions. Going once, going twice. There's a delay with me saying things and then you guys actually hearing things. I'm not sure if it's 10 seconds or more. But if you'd like to hear anything, let me know what you would like to hear again for questions. And if not, hit that big old submit button at the bottom of the form, send it through to the spreadsheet, and I will go do some math. And then I'll be back for part number 3. So talk amongst yourselves. I'm looking forward to being able to say that to a whole group of people all at once at the OWL. Because saying it randomly to a computer in my home library and assuming that you're all going to just talk amongst yourselves, not quite the same thing. Acceptable, but not the same thing. Anywho, talk amongst yourselves, and I'll be back after doing some math. Alrighty, round 3. I don't know what my hair is doing. Okay, answers, then scores, then round 3. Big descriptions, I had to go back a few pages. Okay, thrillers and mysteries is where we started. The very first one about the girl on the train was unsurprisingly the girl on the train. Number 2 was the talented Mr. Ripley. Number 3, the Oslo one, was the snowman. Number 4, disappearing Amy, Gone Girl. And number 5, about the 10 strangers, was Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. All right, herbs and spices. The one that belongs to the mint family, number 1, was savory. Number 2, the outer covering of nutmeg, is mace. Number 3, the king of herbs, is basil. Number 4, the really expensive one, is saffron. And number 5, the symbol of remembrance, is rosemary. There's that line in Hamlet, rosemary is for remembrance. Pride Week answers now. Number 1, the creator of the Rainbow Pride flag is Gilbert Baker. And again, we have a really great picture book all about him and the creation of the flag. It's quite lovely. Number 2, the Greek poet was Sappho. Number 3, the first province to fly the trans flag was Saskatchewan. Yeah. Number 4, the largest pride parade was in Brazil, Sao Paulo to be specific, but you didn't have to be, just Brazil. And in 2017, Philadelphia added black and brown to its pride flag. All right, there we go. That was round 2, which means you need some scores to see where you're at. Round 2 scores and updates. A little bit of change in the ranks, but not much, not much. I mean, there's only 4 teams playing tonight, so how much change could there be? With 15 points, we have the Pretengineers. 17 points to Nalvac's Church of the Mask. 18 to the Barley Moets. And 21 in the lead, we have still You're a Quizzard, Harry. So that's where we're at after 2 of 3 rounds. We're going to go to, as I grab my speaker, we're going to do a musical round. And there we go. We're going to do a musical round. So there's definitely a lag between me saying things and you guys being able to see. I was doing some back and forth with somebody at the Owl about that, such as YouTube, such as virtual programming. So I'll try to leave a little bit more time, especially with the musical ones. I'll try to leave a little more time because I know you guys often like to hear the musical round ones more than once. Okay, so for the musical round, these are all going to be covers once I find them on my phone. These are all going to be covers. And what you're going to do is you're not going to name the song. It's not name that tune. You are going to name the original artist of the cover song. So these are all slide. Are they all slide? Yes, they're all slide electric guitar covers of famous songs. And again, what you're going to do is name the artist, not the song, name the artist for the musical round. All right, got to make sure that everything is connected to the right thing with the Bluetooth. It looks like it is. Let's hope for the best here, people. Hope for the best. All right, so musical round number 1, Name the original artist. That was number one. Here we go with. Let's beat it. All right, that was number two. Got number one, number two. Again, you're naming the original artist. So we're going to go to number three now because that's the order the number's going. That was number three. All right, number five. Come on. Or sorry, number four. All right, that was 5. Would you like to hear any or all of those again? Again, your goal is to name the original artist of those 5 songs that you heard covered by Monsieur Sean Verow of Widemouth Basin, and who does some really good slide guitar covers on his Instagram page and agreed to let me use them for trivia. Because sometimes the trivia videos get flagged by not so much on YouTube, but on Instagram. Every once in a while, we'd get flagged by the music bots, which is not good. But these don't have copyright on them, so yay, Sean! Thank you for letting me use them. And does anybody need to hear any of those 5 musical questions again? Which of those covers do you need to hear a second time in order to name the original artist of the song? I feel like I might have used some of them before, but I think it's been a few months at least. So, bonus points for regular attendees, or at least easier musical questions for return attendees, and just covers that I like. So, again, let me know in the comments if you want to hear any of those again. I was told that there's a fair bit of a lag on tonight's video in terms of me saying things and it broadcasting out to the wider world. So that's why I'm just kind of chatting for a bit here. In case anybody wants to hear stuff again, which of those musical questions / songs would you like to hear? Before going on to the next category, at which point we never return to music again, or at least not for the rest of the evening. If you want to listen to more of these, you like Sean's slide guitar stylings, you can find him on Instagram. Look for Sean Verow, or his account is SV_try-slide. SV_try-slide. Again, that's Sean Verow of Widemouth Basin, doing our musical category, I guess, tonight of covers on slide guitar. If you also just want to see a really interesting slide guitar method, I suggest going to watch his videos. All right, we might be okay for musical playback because so far nobody's saying anything in the comments. It's hard when I don't know how long the lag time is. I know some of the times it's just like 10-15 seconds, but especially for this category, I don't want to bounce forward until I know you guys are ready. You've been enjoying the covers. Excellent. I'm glad. Thank you, Emma, for engaging with me in the comments. It makes it feel a little less like I'm just kind of shouting into a void when you guys do use the comments. So thank you. I am looking forward to being, hopefully, like cross all the fingers and all the toes, back on stage at the Owl next month. If all things go according to plan, I think I'll be on stage next month. I will continue to do a dual delivery at that point, meaning that it will be live at the Owl as well as simulcast on YouTube. Because I know, everybody has different levels of comfort, and I want everybody to be able to play trivia if they want to. Okay, I think we're good then at this point for covers. So let us bounce to the next category, which I came up with after chatting with my 3-year-old niece this morning, who was doing some butterfly art. Yes. Oh, Emma misses Steve and his numbering announcements. Steve had a definite quality, let us say, in announcing the music rounds. Yeah, it was great, and I miss it. And I think we'll be back to it soon. So, yay! But yes, a butterfly category for my niece, who is doing some butterfly. Well, she was trying to be weird. The niece was attempting some butterfly chalk art. Let's say, she's 3, and the nephew later did some very cool, like, leaf-based butterfly collage art. So I put together a butterfly round, because why not? Summer's also a great time for butterflies, and so butterfly questions. Number 1, which American sci-fi writer coined the term butterfly effect in his 1952 short story, A Sound of Thunder? So what is the name of the American sci-fi writer who coined the term butterfly effect in his 1952 short story, A Sound of Thunder? What is his name? So who came up with the term butterfly effect? That was butterfly question number 1. Butterfly question now, number 2. What is the larval stage of a butterfly? So butterflies and most insects go through various stages of development. One of those is the larval stage, when they're a larva. But a butterfly larva has another name. What is the larval stage of a butterfly? This is the quasi-scientific category for the evening. It's as close as we get to science with the Wise Owls pub quiz, because I don't science. I library science. I don't science. Though hosting trivia, from my own library, all on my own some, I could probably ask science questions and not worry about being heckled by the science people in the audience. Yes. Oh, we have some musical redos. Okay. Excellent. I'm going to finish the butterflies and then I'll go back to the music stuff. Again, I hope that doesn't mess anybody up too much. But I will go back to 4 and 5 of the musical round after the butterflies. Okay. So butterfly question number 1 was, who is the American sci-fi writer who coined the term butterfly effect? Butterfly question number 2, what is the larval stage of a butterfly? And butterfly question number 3, who is the composer of the opera Madama Butterfly, which tells the story of a Japanese girl who falls in love with an American naval officer with devastating consequences? So who is the composer of the opera Madama Butterfly, which later inspired the musical Miss Saigon? But who was the original composer of Madama Butterfly? Name that opera composer. So no royalty questions, but an opera question, for the people who, get annoyed by those questions. So I ask them because, that's what I do. All right, number 4 now, question number 4. What is the name for people who study or collect butterflies? What do you call someone? There's like a specific term. What is the special term for someone who collects or studies butterflies? What is the name for that hobby, calling, field of study? What do you call somebody who collects or studies butterflies? That's number 4 of the butterfly category. And number 5, what was the very last thing that Eric Carle's very hungry caterpillar ate before building a cocoon and turning into a butterfly? So in the classic children's picture book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, Eric Carle's very hungry caterpillar eats and eats and eats and eats a whole bunch of things for each day of the week. On Sunday, he eats one very last thing before curling up into a cocoon and turning into a butterfly. What is that very last thing eaten by Eric Carle's very hungry caterpillar before he turns into a cocoon, then a butterfly? Flashback to story times, or maybe more recently, Eric Carle passed away, I think just at the end of last month. Very recently, anyhow. Eric Carle's very hungry caterpillar might be because of that in some of your minds. So the very last thing eaten by the very hungry caterpillar before becoming a butterfly is what? What does he eat? All right. I'm going to play some, I'm going to bounce back to some music for repeats, numbers 4 and 5. In the meantime, if you need any butterfly questions repeated, you can let me know that in the comments while I'm playing some music for you. I have to remember which were 4 and 5. That was just the speaker turning on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is number 4. Number 4. Number 5. All right, so that was 4 and 5 of the musical category. I don't mind playing them again because I think those two were my favorites. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, so that was a repeat of 4 and 5. If you need butterfly questions repeated, though, nobody asked in the meantime, but I'll give you guys a little bit of time because of the broadcast lag. I'll give you a little bit of time. Let me know if you need to hear any of the butterfly questions again, or if you have a favorite type of butterfly. I'm going to go with a swallowtail. Why not? They're cool. They're impressive. Yeah, those are pretty great. Ooh, there's one thing that would be cool to visit once we're able to visit again, is the butterfly house at the Calgary Zoo. I think that's still a thing. I don't think they've torn it down or anything. Who knows? It was cool. If you can go visit it, do go visit it. All right. I think we're okay for butterfly repeats at this point. So I will keep an eye on the comments. If anybody pops in there and does need a repeat, let me know. All right, which brings us to the final category of the evening, that of general knowledge, which is always where we end up. So question number 1 for general knowledge. Ganymede is the largest moon of which planet? Ganymede is the largest moon of which planet in our solar system? Ganymede. I think there was some sort of flyby recently, like this week, of Ganymede, something like that. I feel like it was in the news recently. In any case, it's a moon belonging to which planet in our solar system? It has a great name too. Makes me think of elephants for some reason. Who knows why? Okay, number 2 for general knowledge. The United Nations, established in 1945, replaced which other organization? So there was another organization that was a precursor to the United Nations, which was established in 1945. What was the name of that earlier organization? That is number 2 for the general knowledge category. Number 3 for general knowledge is about somebody with 3 names, who is a 3-time winner of a Best Actor Oscar. Daniel Day-Lewis, 3 times winner of the Best Actor Oscar, is the son-in-law of which famous American playwright, the author of The Crucible? So number 3, Daniel Day-Lewis, 3 times winner of the Best Actor Oscar, is the son-in-law of which famous American playwright who is the author of The Crucible? What is the name of that American playwright? Number 4 is a geography question, because I pretty much always throw in at least one geography question. So number 4, St. Petersburg, Stockholm, Helsinki, and Riga are all cities situated on which sea? What is the name of the sea on which St. Petersburg, Stockholm, Helsinki, and Riga are all situated? So they're all on one sea. Which sea is it? So that was our geography question. you may have noticed there has not yet been an obligatory sports question, and that's because I saved the obligatory sports question for the last of the general knowledge questions tonight. It's a Canadian one. Let's see how you do. Number 5 for general knowledge, the obligatory sports question for June 17th, 2021, the Wise Owls Pub Quiz. Number 5, Canadian speed skater Katrina LeMay was born in which prairie city? In which prairie city was Katrina LeMay, a Canadian speed skater, born? That was number 5, the obligatory sports question of our general knowledge category. Let me know in the comments, as always, if you need to hear any of those again. If you need anything else from the third section repeated, let me know. I'm happy to bounce back to butterflies or repeat anything from general knowledge at this point. I think we've covered all the music at this juncture. But if you need any butterfly questions again, or you need any of the general knowledge questions again, give me a little number listing in the comments or wherever the comments are for you. Let me know. And then once you're done submitting all of your questions, as you've hit the submit button, I'm going to go across the room, do some final math, figure out some winners, and then give you guys some answers, some scores, and we get to celebrate the team that has won tonight. June is the second month in the summer season of the Wise Owls Pub Quiz. So May, June, July, August are all part of the summer season of our pub quiz. So the scores from all 4 of those months are going to get added up together in August, at the end of the August trivia round, and there will be a summer champion. The champions for each of the seasons, so last year, pandemic year, was just kind of like one big champion because of reasons, obviously. Each season's champion gets their team name engraved on a plaque that, once I get the engraving done, will return to the Owl Acoustic Lounge and be displayed there, so you can, prove the bragging rights that belong to you. Okay, I think we are good for repeats for the final section, the third section of tonight's Wise Owls Pub Quiz. I'm going to go across the room, do some spreadsheet math. Well, the spreadsheet does the math, but I have to actually correct the answers because it's too hard to make a spreadsheet that does that, because spelling doesn't count for the Wise Owls Pub Quiz, and thus spreadsheets are tricksy. I'll be back in a few minutes. Talk amongst yourselves, or at least amongst your teammates, and I'll see you in a bit. Alrighty, my friends, I have final scores, and more importantly, or at least first, I have some answers for you. So our musical covers, again, those were provided by Sean Verow of Widemouth Mason on his Instagram slide guitar feed, SV_try_slide, if you're looking for him on Instagram. Good one to follow if you need some happiness in your Instagram feed. Again, the covers were originally songs by number 1, Prince. Number 2, Tears for Fears. Number 3, Neil Young and Crazy Horse, but I accepted this Neil Young. Number 4 was Paul Simon, Solo Years. Number 5 was Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians. On to some butterflies now. The American sci-fi writer who coined the term butterfly effect was Ray Bradbury. The larval stage of a butterfly is the caterpillar. The composer of the opera Madame Butterfly is Puccini. Number 4, if you study or collect butterflies, you are a lepidopterist. Butterflies, genus, species, one of those. Latin word for butterfly is lepidoptera. So collectors are lepidopterists, which is just fun to say. Number 5, the very last thing that the very hungry caterpillar eats before curling up, making a cocoon, and then turning into a butterfly. After he's eaten all of the fruit and all of the rich foods, he has just one green leaf. Or one leaf. I also accepted. It's fine. On to general knowledge. Ganymede is the largest moon of Jupiter. The United Nations in 1945 replaced the League of Nations. Daniel Day-Lewis is the son-in-law of Arthur Miller. St. Petersburg, Stockholm, Helsinki, and Riga are all on the Baltic Sea. And Katrina LeMay Doan is from Saskatoon. She was born in Saskatoon. All right, so with the end of general knowledge and the answer to the obligatory sports question, and some math that I did, we have final scores and no ties, which is always nice and always easier. So our 4th place tonight with 24 points goes to the Pretengineers. Congratulations. 3rd place tonight with 25 points, very close, goes to the Barley Mowats. Well done. 2nd place with 30 points at the end of the night goes to Nalvax Church of the Mask. Nicely, nicely played. But our champions tonight, in 1st place, excuse me, in 1st place with 34 points is You're a Quizzard Harry. They led through all 3 rounds and have taken the championship applause for the evening with 34 points. They also take the prize. So I did put together a prize for this month. Now that things are a little more open, I have a bag full of shiny books for your prize, because library trivia, of course, the prize is shiny books. A bag of books for the team of You're a Quizzard Harry. One of your team members can stop by the Owl Acoustic Lounge at any point that they're open, obviously, during their open hours, and they will have a prize bag for you. It is a blue prize bag. Just say, "Hi, I'm the trivia winner. I'm here to get my prize bag," and give them your team name, and they'll give you a bag of shiny prize books. Again, pick up your prize at the Owl Acoustic Lounge. One person from You're a Quizzard Harry. Congratulations. Snap, 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 snap. I don't know why I did that. Excellent. All right. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you for all of you. Thank you to all of you for playing tonight. This might be the last time I am coming to you for the Wise Owls pub quiz from my home library. Fingers crossed, maybe, hopefully. If everything goes according to plan, like I said, I will be at the Owl Acoustic Lounge on July 15th for the July Wise Owls pub quiz. Questions will start at 8 o'clock. Tables are really nicely spaced out in their new location. They have a nice big outdoor patio. as well. And like I said, you will still be able to play at home or your backyard, which is kind of still at home. Anyhow, wherever you like, via the YouTube broadcast. It will be a simulcast live at the Owl, broadcast live as well on YouTube here at the Let Lib channel. So you can play however you like. So do join us July 15th, 8 p.m. start time for the next Wise Owls pub quiz. Shout out to the Owl Acoustic Lounge for being our partner through all of this, even if we couldn't be live in their location. Do give them support and support everybody else in the downtown Lethbridge and all the other local businesses. It's been a time, and I'm sure they'd love to see the top half of all your faces, as would I. So I will see you next month, and if you like, I will see you next week over on Instagram. We are at Let Lib at Instagram as well for a very special June 24th Indigenous History Trivia Night. That one's a mini trivia. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fast. You just throw your answers in the chat. There's no forms, nothing like that. You do have to have an Instagram account to answer that way, or you can just play against the people that you live with. And it's a lot of fun and a lot of silliness and a lot of chaos and some lifelong learning. I'm Paige for the Lethbridge Public Library. Thank you for joining me. Hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week or next month. Bye.